Yeah. Yeah, the recording is in progress after some serious technical difficulties here. Only about 45 minutes after we planned on starting the recording. We could be about on the tail end of the show. We're just getting started here, but that's all right. We're recording this on a Tuesday. This episode is going to be released on a Wednesday because it is Thanksgiving week. It is rivalry week, and whole lot going on. There's plenty to be thankful for. Ethan is walking back and forth and around. For once, though, the technical difficulties, if there is one thing I'm thankful it was not me that was experiencing or dealing with the technical difficulties. We're on Zoom today because Grant could not figure out how his Riverside was going to work. So we're back to the old school, the OG ways of the podcast. I don't even know how many of these we did that were via Zoom, but we're back and better than ever. And like I said, we've got plenty of football going on. The FCS playoffs has kicked off. The Bison, they're going to be playing Drake on Saturday in the Fargo Dome. I don't know a whole lot about Drake. They are they're a non-scholarship team. They won their conference after starting the year out 0-3. They've won 8 straight. And the Bison get a win. They get to travel out to Bozeman to play Montana State, the 6th seed. I thought NDSU would have gotten a seed, but and that first round bye, but they the way they're playing, it's not a bad thing to just kind of keep that momentum going. Who knows? This seems like a team that if they aren't playing, they've they came out, played USD off a bye week, came out flat and ended up losing one of their losses. One of the reasons why they are not a seed, you could say. So keep that momentum going, keep the train rolling. And I like the bracket that they're in. It sets up pretty nicely for them. If they're able to beat Drake and Montana State, they'll have an opportunity to avenge one of the 3 teams that beat them in the quarterfinals, whether it be USD or North Dakota. And then potentially, if UND wins their first 2 playoff games and beats South Dakota in Vermilion, they have a chance to host a playoff game or be back in the Fargo Dome for the quarterfinal rounds. And if they win, they would be, depending on what happens, but if it goes to chalk, they would be going back out to Montana, to Missoula this time to play the Grizzlies. But there's a lot of things that have to happen. They got to find ways to win. But realistically, everybody is playing for second place this year because I don't want to say that.
The Yaks?
Say it.
Ugh. No,
Yaks.
Ethan said it. Yeah, Ethan said it. They are on a whole different level this year. Everybody is playing for second behind them. And unless something drastic happens and they maybe they go back to resort back to full South Dakota State and choke, there's nobody beating the Jacks this year. They are just too talented of a team, too many weapons, too good up front that it'll be nothing short of a miracle if they don't win. But plenty of other college football games going on. But we'll start in the NFL here. We'll recap week 11 here. And, as always, we're going to be doing our draft. Now, Ethan, have you ever gotten the first pick? No. Oh, it says he's muted.
Did he mute himself?
Asked to unmute. Oh, nope. Can't hear him. And the technical difficulties just continue. Nothing. Uh-oh. What in the world? I don't know.
Almost seems like this week's just not meant to happen.
It is. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Oh, now he's getting his. Oh, there he is.
Hey,
now I can hear you. There it is.
we
Okay,
figured
you're
it
back.
out.
But Ethan, have you ever gotten the first pick in the in our pick'em drafts?
No, and it's probably never going to happen. So I've just accepted I will pick second or third for the rest of my life.
Okay, well, so maybe to bring around some good juju here, I have switched things up. And
Oh,
instead of doing our favorite teams, we're going to go with the teams that our favorite teams are playing. So, Ethan, you will, if you get the first pick, it'll be a Bears helmet.
Yeah,
Grant,
the one time I'm cheering
the-
for him.
Yeah, buddy.
Raiders. And
Just
me,
win, baby.
Me, Washington. So
Just
we're
win,
gonna-
baby.
In the hat, and with the first pick.
Helmets flying everywhere.
Yeah, helmets flying everywhere. It's like
Hey,
it's
just look in-
2003.
Just look in the hat and see which one's not there.
It's a fair point.
Yeah, I got it, but I was gonna have to pick it up anyways, so
Not necessarily.
I'm not a slob.
Oh, come on.
In theory, I was
You're-
actually I was very proud of myself. I had probably the most productive Sunday I've ever had in my life. I woke up, went to church, got groceries, came home, washed my sheets and my regular clothes. I actually didn't let my clothes sit in the dryer all day and wait like, oh, it's 9 o'clock. I'm just gonna go to bed. I actually folded everything. I cleaned my house. I like did a full on, like I vacuumed.
I have laundry in
cleaned
the
the
dryer from
toilets, cleaned the
Saturday.
bathroom. It
Nice.
was
Yep.
you what?
I have clothes in the dryer from Saturday.
Oh, I was me last week. I actually still have some that are hanging up that I don't dry or put in the dryer, but with the first pick,
Oh my God, he dropped it
we-
again.
We lose
my
another.
God,
I'm like a
intoxicated?
Raiders. I just fumbled it.
Or are you Travis Kelsey?
Hey,
Or I might be Travis
or
Kelce.
Alexander Madison. You know, we could go all day here,
Alexander
guys.
Madison, Joshua Dobbs, yeah. And
Hey,
the
Joshua
first
Dobbs
pick
was illegal. That shouldn't count.
is. Oh yeah, Ethan's gonna have to wait another week.
Well,
Raiders.
what else? You know, the Bears fail again.
Yep, and now in the toilet bowl. Ethan,
dropped
you're
it
picking
again.
second.
I hope I get third
Ethan-
round robin, baby.
Ethan,
Or
you're picking
snake.
second. I
Snake
got
order.
third. So
God damn
Grant.
it, second's the worst.
we're starting off here. Now. Who is your surprise team in the NFL this week?
Surprise team. All right. Well, normally we don't have anything good to say about this state, but they got a big win on Sunday. I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers.
It's fair.
They're gentlemen. You know, on Sunday, sure, they were playing the Chargers in a Brandon Staley-led defense, so anyone should get some good yards on them and some points. But you know, they had 397 yards of total offense. The most impressive part about that, Jordan Love had 322 yards in the air. And a stat you guys, you're not going to believe, but that was Green Bay's first 300-yard passer since week 17 in the 2021 season.
Ooh.
So yes, the Hall of Fame quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, went a full season in 2022 without throwing a 300-yard game. Let that sit in. Let that sink in.
It's not good.
No, it's
That is
not good.
crazy.
And when I turned this game on, you know, around the lunchtime on Sunday, the first thing I saw was Aaron Jones on the ground holding his knee, and I'm thinking, uh-oh, this game's over. He's their best offensive player. He's hurt again. They're not going to be able to do anything. And I think after that, another receiver running back went down. He was injured, and I was like, is Green Bay going to have any players left in this game? But you know, they fought through the injuries, and then you know, Jordan on top of 322 yards passing, he was 27 of 40 with 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and 10 different players caught passes. But I think the most impressive stat right here is this guy's 11.9 yards per reception for Green Bay on Sunday. That's going to win you a lot of games when every one of your completions goes for a first down. And coming on a short week, got to go to Detroit here on Thanksgiving. You know, getting a good win on Sunday makes a short week a little better. So I got to go with the Green Bay Packers.
Okay. Well, I'm going to stay in the NFC as well. I'm going to New York. If you looked at this box score, you would think Washington probably won by 20. Double the amount of first downs, 28-13. 23 more plays. Over almost 100 more rushing yards. Only 1 penalty and 9 minutes more of time of possession. The only stat that mattered in this game was 6 turnovers to 0 for Washington. Absolutely unbelievable. They only ran 54 plays. The Giants did 54.
Man.
Didn't even have 300 yards of offense. But when you're getting the ball in plus territory every time, like you're bound to hit at least a couple field goals and maybe get lucky and hit a couple touchdowns. Which is honestly, they got the ball in, they got Saquon the ball in space and they figured it out finally.
Yeah, they were also a team I had on my surprise team. We have crapped on this team a lot, especially the last couple of weeks. But as America's honesty brokers, not Colin Cowherd, when teams deserve their flowers, we'll give it to them. And the Giants earned it for this week. Saquon got a couple of touchdowns. Tommy DeVito, the gravy is going to be tasting real good in the DeVito household. Especially on Thanksgiving.
Do you think the secret to the Giants' success this week was his mom's chicken cutlets? Did she bring some for the whole locker room?
At least
it could have been. It could have been. So that brings up that makes it my turn for surprise team, and I don't know. I'm not going to say if this is a little bit of a surprise team. I'm going with the Detroit Lions here. Because down 2 scores late, I think on the Football Power Index on ESPN with like 5 minutes to go, the Bears had a 98% chance to win this game. And
the Bears go full Bears.
And like I said, and albeit, this game is against the Bears, but this is a game every year that the Lions lose. Like they roll over, they quit, they're done. Similar to what happened in the Ravens game, or early on, it felt like this game was teetering on that it was going to be similar to that Ravens game where it was just over from the word go. The Bears did a really good job of getting Jared Goff off rhythm. He was people getting pressure on him, making him uncomfortable, not where he. You'd see him with the Rams in previous years, especially early on in his Lions tenure, where if he was getting hit early and getting pressured, he was useless. He was done. But, to the credit of Dan Campbell, the culture, the attitude, the mentality that he has built and brought to this Detroit team, it has rubbed off on Jared, where he has stood in the pocket. He took some hits, made throws when he had to, and led them back to a 2-possession come from behind win. So this is not the same old Lions. They aren't the lovable losers. They keep this train rolling. They might be that team nobody's gonna like, but the Lions this week are my surprise team of the week.
I saw Fox Sports put out like their power rankings, and they always have like their headlines or whatever. And granted, yes, it was a good win for the Lions. They came back and won. But the headline was Lions join the elites, which I absolutely disagree with hardcore. Like, you played like shit for 3 quarters, barely beat the Bears. Like, sure, you came back and won. Good for you. But you never should have been in that position anyway if you're that much of a better team or if you are that elite.
Well, yeah, if you're an elite team and you're playing the Bears this year, you should win 41-10.
Yes.
And absolutely steamroll those clowns. So yeah, I'm with you, Ethan. I think they're good, but they're not there yet. Like when I watch this Lions team play, they'll be a team who they'll give Philadelphia or San Francisco a run for their money. But eventually in the fourth quarter of the second half, those top 2 teams, even Dallas, I'll throw in Dallas, Dylan, give credit to your Cowboys. They will slowly pull away from these guys.
Well, their defense is still a question mark. They've played better the last couple of weeks, but it's still an area of concern, especially if you are a Lions fan. But compared to what they were, they are miles and miles ahead of where they are, and you get give the credit to give credit where credit is due. But let's go down to our disappointing team of the week here. And I'm going to go with a team that I had making the playoffs. And, idiot of the podcast here for this one is picking the Tennessee Titans to make the playoffs. This is back-to-back
I tried
weeks.
To tell you. I tried to tell you.
Yeah. You'll get your turn to talk here. This is back-to-back weeks where they've gone down to the state of Florida and gotten their asses kicked. The offensive line is absolutely atrocious, and which they aren't allowing Derrick Henry to get free. The pass rush, which they've spent a decent amount of money on, has been non-existent all year. Mike Vrabel, he might be on the hot seat. I'm not sure. He was asked about it in his post-game presser. He said he's not concerned about it, but this stat is also wild to me that they have lost 14 of their last 17 games and have not won a road game this year.
Yeesh.
Oh,
That's not good.
And I don't know. Will Levis looked. It seems teams have figured out Will Levis. He might not be the guy. The Titans might just be. Well, they are in tank mode, and in their best interest, if they want to give Will Levis another year and an off season with the strength and conditioning staff and
Oh no, he's already pretty fucking jacked.
weapons.
I don't know.
And
I think he's got that down.
I think it's all the mental thing at this point.
And just another year in the offense, they need to address that offensive line and get Derrick Henry back on track and fix that before they really worry about anything else. But Tennessee's my disappointing team this week.
I'm actually not going to go with a team. I'm going with a specific unit. I'm going with the Chiefs wide receivers.
That's fair.
/ tight ends. Just an awful game last night. Hardman, you get brought back for this one play, a deep shot, probably once a game, in your hands, and you literally drop it. Like, if that was a baby, it would be dead. That's how pathetic that was. Travis Kelce drops an easy first down. God, there was Watson, 4th and 25, somehow gets open on Darius Slay, which I have no idea what he was doing.
Yeah, why is Slay playing 30 yards off?
I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. But it's just every time they needed a play, their wide receivers just absolutely crapped the bed. Just like Detroit game to open the year, but worse.
Well, and Ethan, you're spot on. You listen to these wide receivers talking training camp, and they're like, hey, this is the most talented room we've ever had. We have too many dogs in this room. Someone's not going to make the roster that deserves to make the roster. Unfortunately, Amir Smith-Marset was that guy. They sent him off to Carolina. Justin Ross has his own things he's battling right now off the football field. But on the football field, he was a monster in the preseason. Look what he did, that one catch he had in the Vikings game. A player, Ethan, you also didn't comment on, Sky Moore. He second-round pick.
He's done nothing. I was wondering where the hell he's been.
Second-round pick in 2022. They talk about getting Kadarius the ball more and not doing a whole lot because he was injured. He had knee surgery in July. They gave him the ball. That is true. But then also in the first half, when they gave him the ball, he made some big plays, and all of a sudden, the second half, they go away from him. And Ethan, to your point, even Justin Watson, he beat Bradbury, James Bradbury, on 1 3rd down, streaking down the sideline for probably a touchdown, and he cuts it to the middle of the field. Mahomes put it in the perfect spot. Like, he can only jump on so many grenades in this receiving room before it absolutely blows up. And then also, Rashee Rice breaks Darius Slay's ankles in the first half, and they don't go back to him. Again, I don't know. Maybe he wasn't getting open. Maybe the Eagles secondary was shutting him down, but it's just an unacceptable effort from this team. And that's going to be what makes them to lose an early playoff game that they shouldn't, because they can't make any plays on the outside. And your point, that tight end, he's got something going on in his head right now, because he has.
He's wondering when the song's going to be written about.
Are you saying his head is a blank space?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh my God.
He has not been the same since the first half of that Chargers game where he went for 140 yards.
He's clearly distracted. He cares more. He's more worried about his.
Well, and then also, guys.
And she needs to be there. Is she not? She clearly is not a very supportive girlfriend either. I mean, you got to start calling that into question. If she's not there to support him, what is she doing? Well, she sees it on the field that he plays his best when she's in the stands. But if she's not there, he's not there. You know, this is a two-way street, Taylor. You got to scratch his back. He's going to scratch yours.
Well, and then, another thing about Travis, which is interesting, is last year, guys, He was talking after that Tennessee game where he had like 10 catches and I think 110 yards or 100 yards. And I don't know if he scored or not. Took an absolute just beating that game. Came back on the New Heights talking about how he took a nasty shot and he couldn't move his head, but he loves the game. He's going to play. He's going to play. He's going to play. And then all of a sudden, he gets in this relationship with a world-class celebrity. And now he's talking about, you know what, man? The thought of retire, I think about retirement more than ever. You know, the aches and pains, the 10 surgeries I've had. I just don't know if I can do this. 6 months. And then also 6 months ago, you said you were going to go until the wheels fell off. So did the wheels all of a sudden fall off now? Or are you sitting back like, you know what? I've made the bag. I'm dating someone who has a bigger bag than I'll ever dream of. Maybe I don't need this whole football thing. But it's nonsense. He says when he's in the NFL season, he's all football. He don't look like he's all football right now. And this
Going
wide
to
receiver room
Argentina.
this wide receiver room, to Ethan's point here, looks like they're going off the past success of Sammy Watkins, Demarcus Robinson, and Tyreek Hill. Like, this isn't 2018 to 2020 anymore, boys. You have to put the work in. Just because you put that red jersey on and that helmet and Pat Mahomes is throwing you the ball and Andy Reid is calling plays doesn't mean you're going to go out there and do your thing. It's just unacceptable. And, you know, changes will be made if nothing gets right this season. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, and so here we've got who's your disappointing team of the week, Grant?
So remember last week how Ethan, he said his disappointing team was a team he had in the playoffs and thought they'd be good. And Dylan, yours was this week too.
Yeah.
Well, let's continue that trend with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I absolutely pounded my chest for this team to start the season. And you know what? I think Kirk Ferentz somehow snuck into my head, because if you take away the head coach on the sideline, the University of Iowa's football team and the Pittsburgh Steelers is the same team. It's a really good defense, but just an absolutely putrid offense that doesn't belong on the football field. And I drank the juice. I mean, listen to this, guys, on Sunday. Kenny Pickett was 15 to 28 for 106 yards, 3.8 yards an attempt. And you take away Jalen Warren's 74-yard touchdown run, they had 98 yards on 25 carries. The offensive line gave up 3 sacks. And if they don't score 17 points, they're 0-4 this year. Yes, they haven't won a game where they score less. And I know not a lot of teams do, but at the end of the day, come on. At some point, sometimes you have to win a 16-13 game in the NFL. And you know how I said Green Bay, they averaged 11.9 yards a catch on Sunday? The Steelers' longest reception on Sunday was for 14 yards. You know, Matt Canada just lost his job today. And maybe that's going to be a spark in Pittsburgh, but this Pittsburgh Steelers, my disappointing team. And I'm just kind of upset that, you know, I drank the juice and I let this putrid offense that we've seen for the last 3 years dictate that I thought they'd be a playoff team.
Yeah, and this is the first time since 1940 that the Steelers fired a coach in season.
Incredible.
And that was it. And they had, I believe they had three coordinators that year. I remember listening when I was watching a segment from Rich Eisen's show today. They had three different coordinators. It started with a guy that was like the part owner, and then it changed to a different one, and then a different one. So three in a row, 3 different ones, and now I don't know if this starts a trend, but who knows? And apparently this was ordered from the top. This was Art Rooney, the second that demanded Canada be fired. So, Grant, then let's Ethan, we can't hear you again. I don't know what's going on. All sorts of technology here on this on this pre-Thanksgiving episode. We are not thankful for technology at the moment here. Oh. Nothing.
Well,
Still nothing.
son of a bitch.
And
Well, I mean, I'll just go to my I told you so team
yeah,
because
who is your told you so team?
well, my disappointing team, they just fired their offensive coordinator today. My I told you so team fired their offensive coordinator last week, and that was the Buffalo Bills winning the AFC East. You never like it when people have to lose their job, but sometimes at the end of the day, you need to make changes for the better. And on Sunday, Buffalo looked like the team I thought they were going to be. They really played some complimentary football, 38 rushing attempts, and 130 yards, on the ground. Make sure Josh Allen doesn't take that abuse. Get other people going. Latavius Murray, James Cook. Just let
Good.
that offensive line get moving
Yep,
forward.
we can
Ethan,
hear
welcome
you.
back.
Hey.
And then also, Buffalo spread the ball out more on offense. It wasn't just the Stephon Diggs show. Dalton Kincaid had 6 catches. James Cook had 3. Ty Johnson had 3. Khalil Shakir, he had 3 in that 81-yard touchdown pass where Sauce Gardner gave up on the play, and didn't want to make a tackle. But then also this Bills defense, they were fast and aggressive like they thought they'd be all year. 4 turnovers and 6 sacks. This is what teams do when they play bad teams, Detroit Lions. You beat the brakes off them. I don't care if Aaron Rodgers isn't playing and the Jets lost a starting tackle to start the game. You go out and you dominate these clowns. And we've been saying they need another pass rusher. Well, Leonard Floyd came to play on Sunday. He 2.5 sacks. And if they want to somehow get in the playoffs and make a run, he's got to be the guy. And this is, like I said, so Buffalo's my I told you so team because I thought this would be the team we'd see all year.
Yeah. Well, and they actually had some good balance too on offense.
Uh-huh.
James Cook went 17 for 73. Latavius had 10 for 35. Josh Allen only had five rushing attempts, which right now in the season, that's about the cap that he should be at, and try to limit him from scrambling. So maybe Joe Brady has a plan and is learning from Ken Dorsey's failures. But Ethan, who do you have for your told you so team of the week?
I'm doing another position / player, but I'm going CJ Stroud. Yes, he's a rookie, but I was on the one that thought maybe Ohio State quarterbacks can't cut it in the NFL. He is absolutely changing my opinion on that. Like I mentioned him last week, but holy hell, he is incredible. Won another game. Tank Dell, his fellow rookie, 150 yards on eight catches on 10 targets. Like those two are honestly quickly becoming.
If I'm not mistaken, don't all 3 of us have Tank Dell on our fantasy teams?
Yes, and I'm the only one that started them this week. So
Correct.
I still won by 20 points, so that's okay.
I did well. I knocked off the number 1 team, so we're sitting good. But they might be the best combo in the league right now, like legitimately. The last 3 weeks.
Yeah, you can't argue.
Well,
you can't argue
even
that.
CJ didn't even play. This was not his best game by any means, but he does not get rattled. He does not get scared. He just keeps going. He's going to learn from his mistakes. He's a rookie. Those mistakes are going to happen, but he continue. You listen to Mark Schlereth talks about how in practice, or D'Amico Ryans, when they've gone through meetings together, when Mark's had their games, talked about how CJ is such a perfectionist about the way he goes about his craft that if he doesn't do something right, he wants to redo it and do it over with that same receiver so he gets it right, so they are on the same page, so they get that timing down, and he's only going to go up from here.
I was actually told by the guy I beat this weekend that CJ Stroud threw to him at the Senior Bowl or something, or the Combine. That's what it was. Instead, he loved his routes, so they needed to go get him after he was drafted 2.
Huh? How about
I
that?
thought that was pretty interesting.
Huh.
That is, and for me,
and got real quick on CJ here. We shouldn't be surprised that he doesn't back down. I mean, look at that Rose Bowl game against Utah.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson's out, Olave's out. Ohio State's dead to right. They're just kind of ho-humming around at halftime. It's whatever. We don't know who Marvin Harrison Jr. is. And then CJ just goes, all right, well, I have Jackson Smith and Jigba. Let's play the best half of offensive football we've ever seen. And it's, also in the two biggest games of Ohio State's season these last 2 years, he wasn't the reason they lost that game.
No.
He did everything in his power
That
to
Georgia
show up
game,
in a
he
big
was
game.
incredible.
Oh yeah, how people
was his
He
thought
let
best
his
game
inner
ever.
Brian out.
how people didn't think he was a first round quarterback after that Georgia game is unacceptable. You should not be allowed to talk football after that or work in the NFL.
I bought into the Ohio State stigma. I knew I fucked up, but I'm off that now.
Yeah. He might be the one to buck the trend. But
Yeah.
He's got that just California coolness to him, too. Being
kid
that
works
he is
his
from,
he's a hard guy to root against too. Just listening to him and hearing him talk and guy you don't want to see fail. But my disappointing team is going to be the Washington Commanders. Like Ethan said, for his surprise team, it being the Giants, the Commanders. They outgained the
Dylan,
Giants by over 100 yards.
The I told you so team?
Yeah, or that's what I meant. Told you so. So when I was making this, I realized I kind of skipped out on doing a told you so for some reason, and I was kind of scrambling, but I also was not very high on Washington. And it was mostly because of the coaching staff. They were sloppy all game. The offensive line, they gave up 4 sacks. There were 13 sacks combined in this game. And the offensive line's been a problem all year. And Ron Rivera's seat keeps getting warmer and warmer. And with this new ownership group that's come in, you have to think that there's going to be a change sooner rather than later. And being a short week, depending on what happens on Thursday, they could be getting this might be the week to cut bait and get a new regime in and see what you have with Eric Bieniemy as the head coach.
I think it happens this week. If they lose by 3 possessions, which I think they very well could, it's done. Friday morning, we're going to wake up. I'm going to wake up from a screenshot from Dylan that's going to say, Adam Schefter breaking news, Ron Rivera out as Washington head coach.
Was Cam Newton to Juan Rivera as Tom Brady was to Bill Belichick?
Ooh.
Oh my God.
Wow.
That's actually a great.
Well, Ron Rivera's only had like two seasons where he's had a winning record as a head coach.
I mean, both
Yeah,
with
but
Cam, but Belichick sucked without
Or
Brady.
3. He's had 3. But yeah, you're probably not too far off.
I'm sorry.
that.
I don't think Belichick's
And
as good
Cam's-
as people think he is. I'm just going to be honest.
Well, but then Ethan, you're on to something because also in Ron's first year in Washington, sure, Dak Prescott's ankle decided to go the wrong way, but it took Alex Smith to come with one leg to come and save that team.
Yeah.
I think there's a legit.
Yeah, I think that's
there.
I think that is a legit argument that what Tom Brady was to Belichick, Cam Newton was to Ron Rivera in Carolina.
So yeah, that is something, that is a new perspective I have not thought of. So,
and when you have a quarterback like Cam, you can be Riverboat Ron because you trust Cam to make the right play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Cam's body is what failed him, and he just the style he played in, his body just gave up on him.
Yeah.
Well, and wrecking your car on the Charlotte Interstate doesn't help either.
Yeah, that's not a good strategy either. But let's go down to our college, our Week 12 team of the week here, and I'm gonna go out to Grant's favorite city here. I'm gonna go down to UCLA, where a game where there were rumors starting to fly that their head coach was going to be fired, UCLA walked into the Coliseum and they dominated a lifeless USC team. they gashed USC up and down the field. They made they gashed them worse than the Bear and the Revenant did to Hugh Glass.
Oh,
Bear,
that's bad.
Ooh,
Uh-huh.
Oh,
And
that's bad.
yikes.
they outgained USC 199-3 on the ground.
Holy shit. And they're playing Big Ten football next year?
Yeah.
And Lincoln Riley is their head coach.
Oh,
Whose teams
God. This
get
is
worse
not gonna
every
go
year
well
that
for
he's
them.
there.
This is not going to go well.
Oh,
They're the
God.
Colorado of the Big Ten. Just a bunch of paper tigers.
Yeah. and I never understood why UCLA was going to fire Chip Kelly. Chip
I
Kelly
agree.
is a good coach.
He is.
He's done a lot. The administration and school there has not done him any favors. They play at a stadium that is an hour away from campus. They don't have the resources. They don't have the facilities. They think they're a basketball school, yet their basketball school has had one good year in the last 20. Actually, well, 15, I should say.
I will
15.
disagree with that. They are absolutely a basketball school.
They're a basketball school, but when you compare them to what they were in the 60s and 70s, it's not fair.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
But
no,
they're
no.
a basketball school.
But even then, the last 4 years,
we
they've been
speak in-
fantastic.
We speak in absolutes on this podcast. They're either really good or they're really terrible. So they're terrible.
They're
Are
not
you just
blue
upset-
blood again. They're not a
Are
blue
you
blood,
just-
they're the lower level. They're
Are
with
you just
Michigan
up-
State.
Yeah.
Dylan, you're just upset they beat Michigan 2 years ago.
Yes, you are.
No,
You're
I'm
holding a
just trolling.
grudge.
Yes.
You're
I didn't even
holding a
think about
grudge.
that until you brought it up. But yeah, sure, I guess. but like I said, they play at a stadium where they're an hour away from campus. They don't get fans. Chip has tried to get a stadium close to campus. He took over a mess when he was there, and they consistently win 8 to 9 games every year, which is pretty solid given that circumstances. And that's really what UCLA as a program is. They've never been a national power. No one's ever looked at UCLA and thought, oh man, we're shaking in our boots because we have to play the big bad Bruins out in the Rose Bowl. But and I don't even know the last time they played in New Year's Six Bowl.
They never have.
They haven't. I don't think
They
so.
haven't. They haven't. They go to like the Las Vegas Bowl and the Sun Bowl every year.
Yeah.
The last time they played in like a Rose Bowl or a Sugar Bowl or something. I wonder when.
But I'm gonna say 1987.
I'll say 94.
But anyways, I'll
was
keep
looking it up,
looking
damn it.
here, and you guys can. Ethan, who do you have for your college football team of the week?
This goes against pretty much everything I stand for. I think it was the worst division in college football.
Don't
But
do it.
credit where credit's due, Iowa Hawkeyes. Grant,
Oh
I know you hate
my God!
I'm going to be honest. I'm mostly saying this because I picked them to win the Big Ten West. So I am really just talking about myself here that I picked this. So
You're good at that too, talking about yourself.
Can be. But all seriousness, they really needed one drive this game, and they got it. Johnson ran in like the 30-ish yard touchdown. They held them off. Illinois was hot coming in. I think they put up back-to-back 30-point games, and their offense looked explosive under that backup Paddock or whatever his name is. So kudos to Iowa. I mean, they won the shittiest conference or division in probably all of college football ever. I don't think the Big Ten West has ever been this bad, to be completely honest with you. There seems to be always one team that's actually somewhat national or nationally like relevant. Iowa might be 16th in the college football playoff. They will get absolutely shit smacked in their bowl game and in the Big Ten championship regarding if that's Michigan or Ohio State. They're going to get annihilated. But who knows? Maybe they'll get a couple tips like fucking Kirk and Parker, whatever deal they made with the devil. Maybe they'll get a couple in the Big Ten championship game this year. But kudos to Iowa. I've roasted them and I've congratulated them, so I think I did well.
Well, Ethan,
and I have a score or a update on the what year did you guys guess the last time UCLA played in a
I said 19.
New Year's Six BCS bowl game?
Ethan said 87. I said 94.
I bet it's 99.
I'm gonna say like 2000.
Ethan, you nailed it. 1999. They lost
Hey!
31-38.
Let's go.
Well done, sir.
All right, I'm going to Mystic. I'll see you guys later.
All right, have fun. No,
All
but
right,
Ethan,
Grant. Who is your team of the week? Or
can I
if you
just
got to say something about your
Oh no. I'm not being smart or anything here, Ethan. That deal with the devil does not count in the Big Ten title game. It's going to be a Mayan human sacrifice. Um, and can I be honest, Dylan? You might not want to hear this. Well, because for this to happen, Michigan has to lose. I'd rather play Ohio State because if they play Michigan, Harbaugh's coming back from suspension and they're coming out for blood. They're going to score 70 points in that game. They are going to just do anything in their power to let the world know that we're here.
Yeah, they're not going to pull those starters.
Oh God, no. So, let's be honest. If they play Ohio State, they're going to lose 48-3. If they play Michigan, they're going to lose 70-0. So
I was gonna say they ain't gonna score. I know that.
they're not going to
We
score.
get past midfield, I'll be shocked.
Oh, and then also Cooper DeJean's not there, so Wilson or Harrison Jr. are just gonna absolutely feast.
Can you imagine that pudgy freaking Deacon Hill running from that Michigan D line? He might lose 10 pounds during the game.
Deacon Hill looks like he should be playing on the Michigan defensive line with how fat he is.
the hefty righty?
Jacket. Come on now.
So it's gonna be a human sacrifice there in that game. So that's all I have. That's all I have to say.
Okay. Who's your college team of the week?
Can I, before I do this, guys, I think I need to apply for a job at the Pac-12 network. All I do is talk about this conference for my team of the week.
It's going to get abolished in 6 months. So
Wait, it's got to go out with a bang.
Oh, I could get a job working at Apple TV, doing Oregon State, Colorado State next year.
Which the Washington State did sign up. Washington and Washington State did sign up for a 5-year agreement after this year to continue the Apple Cup.
Yeah.
Okay,
Grant,
I'm glad two of these universities had their head on straight and they're continuing rivalry games. But no, in all seriousness, I got to go with the Arizona Wildcats. Jed Fish has turned this program around. I had my doubts, and I would like to give credit to Dylan for saying he believed in Jed to do it. And they played Utah, a team that I've liked these last couple of years, and they were up 21 rip after the first quarter, and it was 28-0 before Utah even scored. Arizona's second touchdown was a blocked punt, and they're 8-3 on the year. They're getting ready to play a rivalry game in Arizona State. They'll easily get to 9-3. He's turned this program around, and now they're going into the Big 12 next year. He'll be able to recruit into the Texas area a little more. Who knows? The Wildcats might not only be just a basketball school. So bear down, Arizona Wildcats, team of the week.
They look good.
Yeah, and that was a game too where I actually had Utah. I thought Utah was going to win. It just felt like that was they were going to ugly the game up, but then Utah, a couple turnovers, Arizona capitalized off it, and then it was never over. And the other thing too that's not talked about is they should have beaten USC, and that makes the Pac-12 race a little bit more interesting.
That is true.
Is Jed Fish still Arizona's coach?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
God, less than a year ago, they wanted him canned. That's incredible.
I know.
Yeah. But Grant, back to you here. What do you got for your NFL week as we transition up to our week ahead here? What do you have for your week 12 game of the week?
Yeah, not gonna lie, not a great week here in the NFL, but this is slowly becoming a CJ Stroud stan account and a Houston Texans stan account on this podcast.
This is the Texans podcast we're basically talking.
Yeah, exactly.
I might have to break out my Texans shirt for the next episode.
I
did say I'm very thankful for Tank Dell, so yes, that's probably not a terrible idea.
If I still have my JJ Watt jersey,
the nicest things Grant's ever said about the wonderful, beautiful city of Houston.
City of Houston.
No, it's just because they're good doesn't mean it doesn't need a good bath here and there.
You guys have never been there, so you wouldn't know.
I'm sure it's not great.
but Harvey had other things in mind. But
Maybe Betty's
I'm-
going to come in and sweep them off their
All
feet.
right, Grant. Let's get into the preview here before we
Jacksonville,
we-
Houston. Houston beat Jacksonville already to start the year. They mollywopped them, I think 37-17 in week 3. The Jags are 7-3. The Texans are 6-4. If the Texans can get the win, they're no longer the 7th seed. They're hosting a playoff game. D'Amico Ryan's first year, this would be a statement win. Let everybody across the league know that, hey, we're for real. Houston is on the rise. And more importantly, going into the offseason, the best free agents are going to want to go to Houston. Why? Because according to Dylan, it's a beautiful city. 2, there's no state income tax in Texas. 3,
they got great strip club laws.
James Harden said so.
James Harden can vouch for it.
4, there's no state income tax. And 5, you get to play for D'Amico Ryans.
That's true.
So
Coach of the year right now.
Coach of the year right now, and MVP candidate CJ Stroud here on the Houston Texans podcast.
And Nick Wright would also vouch about the strip club rules, because he talked about how this is how I know this is when he was on the Herd. This was early, like bald Nick Wright era,
before he got his fake hair.
How he would, him and his wife, that was one of their night out things, is they would go to Houston strip clubs. And apparently the laws is they're allowed to stay open later for some, I don't remember the reason, but when Nick and his wife would go, James Harden would always be there.
So, you know what I learned right there, Dylan, from you? Again, 1, Houston has great strip club laws. And 2, you want a healthy relationship? You and the missus got to go to the strip club.
Also, number 3, basketball is not the most important thing to James Harden. It's strip clubs.
Correct. Well, apparently somebody's done some number crunching stat or research on it that cities that have better or like higher rated strip clubs, he plays better in.
Jesus.
So Houston, Atlanta, Miami, Los Angeles.
Not Minneapolis.
Not Minneapolis.
He doesn't want that free hot dog.
At the second floor of the Deja Vu, he's not getting the hot dog buffet.
So good though.
Oh God.
Moves on. Okay.
So wow, we just gave the city of Houston a great 5 minutes there. And
we might have to go visit now.
Nope.
Hopefully this goes viral and the Texans pick up on us and they invite us
comes through.
and they invite us down.
Yeah.
So, Ethan, it's your turn. So yeah, Jags Texans, my game of the week.
I just want to make this clear. I don't think this will be a good game, but it's a big game. Falcon, it has huge divisional implications. Falcon Saints. Again, I do not think it's going to be a good game, but the winner basically controls.
So bad it's good.
Yes. Basically, the winner controls the NFC South. Arguably the worst division in football. But hey,
is it the Big Ten West of the NFL?
What?
Yeah.
Is it the Big Ten West of the NFL?
It might be worse. It could be worse. But
This
yeah,
is the Big Cat tier ranking of somebody has to win the NFC South.
NFC South.
Yeah. But like I said, there's not much to say to this game. It's going to be just an absolute awful football game. But hey, at least one of these teams could very well make the playoffs and host a game. Terrifying.
Hey, and also, did you guys see? Wait for it. Here's your surprise news of the day. Michael Thomas was put on IR and will miss the next 4 games.
Oh, shocking! Right after he beat a man.
Yeah, what a surprise!
Broken hand.
He beat. A broken knee. So he did something worse there.
Broke his knee.
Well, his knee is the reason he's on injured reserve.
Maybe a guy took a crowbar to it or something.
Oh, I wouldn't surprise me out of the state of Louisiana if someone did that.
Nope. Louisiana, where people would rather fight a crocodile than a male.
That is true.
I guess it's technically an alligator, but same thing goes.
Yeah. So my game of the week here is going to be Eagles Bills. Eagles coming off a big come from behind victory on Monday Night Football over the Chiefs. They avenged a Super Bowl loss. The Bills looked great playing against the Jets, who, I mean, it's the Jets, but there's
Decent
reasons for
defense.
optimism. Decent defense. They've under Joe Brady, they, like we said earlier, that they've seemed to have found some balance on offense. Are they able to continue that? Which is going to be key, especially against an Eagles team that has a tremendous pass rush and a nasty front. If they're able to consistently run the ball and find that balance, that's going to be able to neutralize that Eagle pass rush from keeping and keeping them honest. A game that I think a lot of people had circled going into the year, and it felt like after the Bills' struggles has lost some luster here. But this is a spot for the Bills where they can find themselves back in the hunt for the AFC East title.
Well, yeah, because they still got to play Miami last game of the regular season.
Yep.
So anything is possible, in the words of Kevin Garnett.
You're right. Anything is possible here, and that brings us up to our college football game of the week. It is rivalry week here, and I think about everybody knows where I am going with this one. My game of the week. It's not just a game; it's the game. And
okay, I'm just gonna say you rigged the drawing tonight so you could get this game. I'm just calling it. I have no inside info. I'm just calling it.
You can call what you want.
Ethan should work for the Big Ten with that investigating skills right there.
Yeah,
yes, I should.
Put the Michigan guy on a pitchfork.
I have a cane.
And it wouldn't
I have
matter
glasses
because
to make me look blind. I could be an official.
Especially in the Big Ten.
You'd fit right in the Big Ten. But this game, it feels a little bit, it's the last of the rivalry as we know it, with the Big Ten getting rid of divisions. So this could be a potential where they meet 2 years in a row.
2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row, potentially 3 times, with the playoff going to 12 teams, depending on the way the bracket's set up. It could happen with both teams undefeated again for the second straight year. Potentially an elimination game for the playoff, where depending on what happens around the rest of college football, not to mention all the off-field stuff that is going on. A spot in the Big Ten title game. Michigan's going to be without Harbaugh, still serving his 3-game suspension. But in the end, this game's going to come down to, I think, 2 things, and something that what this game has always come down to in the past forever, and how this game is won. It's going to be red zone execution and who runs the ball best. The team that has run the ball for the most yards the last 21 games has won this game. 2000, when Michigan beat Ohio State in Columbus, was the last time a team that had the fewest rushing yards won this game. And the red zone execution part, it's going to be who comes away with touchdowns and who's going to settle for field goals. The last couple of years, Michigan's been able to find ways to get in the end zone, and the defense has held Ohio State to field goals. And Ohio State's defense this year, they've been a lot better. They've done a lot better job of not giving up the big play, which haunted them that first year under Jim Knowles. And Michigan, defensively, they need to find ways to limit TreVeyon Henderson. He's going to be what makes that offense goes. If they're able to make Ohio State one-dimensional, make Kyle McCord beat you through the air, they might throw for a lot of yards, but if they're able to hold up and toughen up in the red zone, make them settle for field goals, I really like Michigan's chances on the defensive end. And then offensively, like I said, run the ball efficiently, effectively, utilize that to set up play action, hit some big shots. JJ McCarthy needs to play a big game. He hasn't played his best, especially after last week. It was a bit of a sandwich game against Maryland. They didn't really need him against Penn State at all. Maybe this was part of the plan of trying to keep him in the garage and letting him show up. I think they can also utilize him in the run game. He's been effective. He was effective last year in the run game, picked up a big first down, had a third and goal touchdown run that gave him a 2-possession lead to start the fourth quarter. But he doesn't need to force things. Take what they give him. Those big plays will come as the game wears on. Make the easy play, trust your offensive line, running game, and then let the chips fall where they may. So that's my Michigan Ohio State preview here. Similar to the last few years, I've had a couple of people ask how I'm feeling, and I feel very, very similar this year than I have compared to the last 2 years, where I feel confident that I wouldn't be shocked if they lose, but I feel confident that they can come in and get a win. Nothing would surprise me. I would love to see a win, especially with all the pomp and circumstance that is surrounding this game. Ohio State fans have been crying and crying Ryan Day is saying all of his saying that Michigan's been cheating, and that's the only reason why Michigan's won the last 2 years. So this one would be a little bit sweeter. And I don't think I will ever be able to go. Ohio State's caused me too much PTSD where I don't think I will ever go into a Michigan-Ohio State game where I think, oh yeah, for sure Michigan is going to win and it's not even going to be a question. I don't think that'll ever happen. But the cautiously optimistic is the way I would describe myself going into this game, and then wake up, sit and wait for 3 or 4 hours, which feels like 6, and then chew glass for the next 4 while a bunch of college kids will dictate my mood for the rest of the day.
I really do think this is going to be low scoring. 21-17, 24-20. I don't think this is going to be like a shootout. I guess Michigan's kind of kicked the shit out of them, but I don't see either of these teams kind of scoring more than 28 tops. Probably two of the best defenses, two of the top 3 defenses in probably the entire country.
I think statistically, aren't they like 1 and 3
super
or
good? Yeah,
something like that? Where
yeah.
They both played Minnesota though, so that sure helps.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
It's funny. Minnesota got lucky in that game because PJ was so incompetent. Michigan was like, "Is he going to run the play? Like, what are we doing? Oh, let's snap it."
He was trying not to make it a blowout, and he still did it. He didn't try to win.
And the corner wasn't paying attention, and he caught a nice touchdown pass.
Dumb.
But yeah, what the most points Michigan's given up this year, besides before last week, was 13 points or 15 points. Like, yeah, Jesus. Ohio State hasn't given up more than 17 this whole year.
It's crazy.
So yeah, I'm with you, Ethan. I think it's going to be a low scoring battle, but to me, I think the difference is going to be JJ McCarthy's legs. I think he's going to get some pressure on him. He'll be able to get out of the pocket, run on the move a little bit. I just don't see Kyle McCord being able to do that. If that Michigan pass rush gets to him, I think he's going to get a little happy feet. He's going to be a little nervous. He's not going to have 2 hands on that football, and you might see a turnover off that. So, Dylan, I know you might not be looking for a prediction, but I like Michigan to win this game and then to beat Iowa by 70.
All right, there you go. And with that, Ethan, do you have a college game of the week?
Yeah, I believe they call this the Civil War up in Oregon.
Oh, not anymore. Not anymore. That was racist.
Oh, it's fine. We're going to call it that because if anyone's going to start a civil war, it'd probably be the hippies up there. So
yeah, damn right.
So I'm not crazy, but no, that's going to be an incredible game. Oregon's still fighting for their
Friday night
playoff lives. Friday night.
Yeah.
Oregon State. They're still going hard for New Year's Six bowl. I guess I don't know how the Pac-12 standings shake out. Who's going to be playing in I guess it's Oregon, Washington, probably.
Well, it's Arizona still has a chance.
Okay.
But to your point, I think, Ethan, if Oregon wins, it's Oregon Washington because Washington's in
that's
there.
What I figured. So no, it's gonna be. Agundalei, how do you say his name? He's been there. He's played there. He's played in the big games. Herbert, what are you gonna do? Like outside of Washington, biggest game of his career. What's Bo Nix gonna do?
Yeah.
So did I say Herbert?
Yeah.
Yes. I meant Bo Nix. Yeah.
They both were number 10.
Number 10. It's fine.
Well, and you were thinking of Justin's little brother, who's the wide receiver.
True. Could be.
And this
But-
could be this is a Bo Nix, a little bit of a revenge game, because if you guys remember correctly, Oregon was
That's
up big
right.
going into the fourth quarter last year in this game and blew the lead. Bo Nix is the Heisman favorite right now. This is a Heisman moment opportunity for him to kind of seize that opportunity. He's going to have another one against Washington if they are able to pull this game out. Yeah, I right now Arizona's 6-2. Oregon's 7-1. So I wonder if Arizona
But they-
wins and Oregon.
I think if Arizona wins and Oregon loses, I think Arizona gets in there because they didn't play this year. I was curious this morning.
Yeah. No, they didn't.
When I had Arizona as my team of the week, I was like, there's still an outside chance they could play Washington.
This is in Eugene, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you remember, guys, last year when Oregon lost this game, that's what put Utah in the Pac-12 title game. Because Oregon beat them, I believe, the week before.
Yeah. So here's how this this is according to the Pac-12 Conference X page. Washington, they've clinched and they'll be the home team. Oregon needs to win over Oregon State, or an Arizona lost to Arizona State.
Mm-hmm.
Or Arizona needs to win versus Arizona State, and Oregon State needs to beat Oregon. So Oregon wins, they're in. Arizona needs to win and Oregon to lose, and they would be in the Pac-12 championship game.
Okay.
So that's how those scenarios play out. The Barrett Sallee had quite the tweet to explain the Big 12 tiebreaker scenario. So if Texas Tech beats Texas and TCU beats Oklahoma and this is just him continuing a tweet. The American Southwestern Division, East Northern, and then Kansas State goes to the Big 12 championship game unless BYU can upset Oklahoma State and Kansas ties Cincinnati. Then UCF would play Houston and West Virginia in a blind choice round robin. And if no clear winner emerges from all this, a two-man sack race will be held on consecutive Sundays until a champion is crowned.
Nothing beats a good sack race.
I hope the Big 12 goes out like this. Like the Big 12 as we know with Texas and Oklahoma. That would be hilarious.
Yeah. Grant, who do you got for your college football game of the week?
So kind of, just like Ethan, I have
Iowa,
another
Nebraska?
Oh God, no, not a chance.
I honestly thought
over
about it.
under of 26.5.
I'm taking the under.
Oh, absolutely. This is one of those games. It's an honorary under here. And
Dude, to me, this seems like a 12-9 kind of game, like 7 field goals.
Man, you have a lot of faith in them even getting in that position.
Well, I'm talking like 50-yard field goals. And like, but it's going to be spaced off like Sims throws an interception, Hill fumbles.
Deacon Hill loses the ball in his stomach.
Where'd the ball go?
Fumblerooski. Oh wait, no, it's just
Iowa's own Fumblerooski.
Deacon Hill is too fat. Nebraska is awarded the football.
This is I think this game is a battle for who Mark Gronowski is the quarterback for next year, the South Dakota State quarterback.
Hey, you do not let out Minnesota here.
or potentially Minnesota. You know, he could basically go anywhere he wants in the Big Ten West and be the starter next year. But anyways, Grant,
it don't matter next. It don't matter next year with those Pac-12 schools coming in the Big Ten West. Every team they're screwed. But like I said earlier, I got another in-state rivalry game. Well, these two schools, they don't like each other. Not known for its football, more of a basketball rivalry. But I'm going to go North Carolina State.
I thought you were going to go Louisville, Kentucky there for a second.
I thought about it, but Kentucky's kind of ass. And, Louisville, they're already in the ACC title game. And but I went with this game because UNC and NC State are both 8-3. NC State got the best of North Carolina the last 2 years. And I think it was either last year or the year before where they defeated them and Carolina lost an opportunity. No, it was 2 years ago where they lost an opportunity to go to the ACC title game.
Is
based off
Raleigh
that.
Or Durham? No, not Durham.
I believe it's in Chapel Hill.
Chapel Hill. Sorry, that's what I meant.
Yeah, it's in Chapel Hill.
Are they
Was
in
that?
Raleigh, NC State?
And yeah, they're in Raleigh.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. They're in Raleigh, and just kind of the bad blood between these two programs. They don't like each other. Drake May's comments last year, where he said no NC State player could get into UNC if it wasn't for a football scholarship. And then Dave Dorian came back and clapped back at him after the game. I can't
I wish
remember
someone would
exactly.
have broke into their admission system and seen what Drake's grades are.
Well, it doesn't matter when you're taking African studies underwater basket weaving classes
Or
at
fake
UNC.
classes.
Yeah, exactly. It don't matter anyway.
The legacy of the school, anyways, you can get in for free. You can get in easy.
That is true. But both teams are 8-3, trying to get that 9th win of the year. Anytime you have a rivalry game when you're only 20 miles apart, it's gonna mean something. And not only if you win this game, then you got an opportunity to get that 10th win of the year at your bowl game. Like you said, Dylan, it's a rivalry week, and anytime you can have a game inside your home state where you're only 20 miles apart on campus, it's going to be a great game. And if it's like these last 2 years games have been, this game's going to come down to the wire, and it's going to be some crazy finish that makes no sense.
It always trends that way.
But actually, Ethan, now that I'm thinking about it, I think this game is actually in Raleigh.
Is it this year?
Yeah, I believe so. Yes.
Okay.
All righty. Well, with that, then we'll get to a curveball of the week here. But I did tease you guys that I had a story of another interesting encounter at the in the Walmart bathroom on the urinals.
Did a homeless man try to do something? I guess depends on how you look at it, positive or negative to you.
No, nothing like that. The guy kind of does look a little bit homeless, older, balder dude.
Does it involve a trough?
It did not involve a trough. They do not have troughs.
He wasn't at the barn.
Yeah.
No. Does the barn still have troughs?
Oh yeah, we figured that out on Thursday night.
Oh yeah,
no
dude.
Kidding. That's why they're going to the Final Four. They have troughs.
Yes. Yes.
Dylan, you'll find this funny. It's funny. You mentioned that Ethan goes straight for the toilet. He's pissing in the toilet.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
like,
no,
whatever.
I can't
Fine.
do troughs. No way.
I'm gonna do this for Dylan. I'm gonna go to the trough.
Well then, no, you stood there for at least 2 minutes trying to get anything out. Let's just call it what it is.
Oh yeah, big set of stage fright, Dylan.
You just gotta let that flow, man. But
I was trying it. It wasn't working.
Stage fright.
It was stage fright.
But anyways, so I don't know if you heard you weren't on when the last time I had a interesting bathroom encounter, but so the last time it happened, I was going on the taller one, and then there was the shorter one. This old dude walks in and goes, yeah, most people got to get on their knees to use this one, but I got a big dick, so I don't have to.
Nice guy. Did he?
and this time, this happened on Monday. I'm going, and all of a sudden, I just hear this guy makes a weird sound, and I kind of like look over. He's like, "Man, this water is cold."
What?
Oh my God.
Jesus.
Was it the same dude?
It was not the same dude. No.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Just the moan and this water is cold.
That's impressive.
Dylan, can I say something real quick? It's along the same lines, because every once in a while I like to try to joke with some of my friends and be like, "Hey, Ethan, I heard a rumor that you actually pee sitting down." So one day, I'm like, talking to my dad, I'm gonna make fun of him. So I go up to him like, "Hey, Dad, I have a rumor about you," and I go, I heard a rumor that you actually pee sitting down. And without skipping a beat, it's almost like the son of a bitch knew what I was going to say. He looks at me right away and he goes, "Yeah, Grant, the water's pretty cold."
Oh, Daryl off the top rope. I love it.
I was not prepared for that. He totally did the Uno reverse card on me. It was absolutely. I had nothing to say. I was just like,
you're just speechless. Like,
I'm
Check
like,
and mate, Dad. You win.
okay,
Nod
respect.
your head and move on with life.
All right, accept the defeat and move on.
But but I got that done. So let's go to curveball of the week, which I have. It is Thanksgiving. A
Oh
couple
my
of weeks
God.
ago, Grant had had to choose a side Thanksgiving side dish that has to go. And we're gonna go change things
I
up a
want
little
Ethan to
bit
answer
here.
that question too.
Oh, it's cranberries.
Ethan, what is your
100%. No one wants a fucking cranberry.
okay? There it is. You know what Grant said, Ethan?
No, I don't.
He said stuffing has to go.
Oh, go to hell.
That's right.
In college on Fridays during Lent, I would eat a box of stuffing because I couldn't eat meat.
That's a lot of bread.
The
That's when I was
but
bulking at Iowa City.
Oh gosh,
Had
that's
to be able
funny.
to had to be able to use all that alcohol and be able to not die drinking all that.
Gotta
alcohol.
soak it
So
up,
those
yeah.
carbs are
Yeah, so
important.
having that stuffing makes it. Oh, that makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, think harder, not smarter. Smarter, not harder. I don't know. You tell me.
you're
First world problems.
You're clearly thinking too hard.
Yep.
But so my curveball of the week here is we're going to go start 'em, sit 'em with you guys. I'm going to list
Ooh.
of Thanksgiving main dishes. Okay, so we did the sides. Now we're going main dishes here. And I'm just going to list them off, and you're going to say start 'em or sit 'em. So we're going to get things rolling with
How many starters and sit-ums do we
half.
get?
You can this is just one or the other. You can choose
Okay,
start 'em,
okay.
sit 'em.
So I could have a whole list of starters or a whole list of sit-ums.
Yeah, you can whatever one I
Okay.
say, you say what you think. So
Okay.
Ham,
Start them.
you're
I'm gonna
starting
sit
them. Okay, okay, all right. Well,
I'm-
now we're gonna go with turkey. Obviously, it's nicknamed Turkey Day. Now, are you starting turkey on Thanksgiving?
Yes, but the caveat is I want the dark meat.
Okay, fair.
I'll say yes. Yeah, put some gravy on top. A little bit of both.
Mhm.
Ham and
All
turkey.
right.
Yeah. We're double
Prime
fisted
rib.
on Thursday. What was it?
Prime rib.
No, never had one for Thanksgiving, but yeah, start them. Start them.
Yeah, I'd start
Yeah.
them. I've never done it
Great
either,
call.
but start them. Why not?
Yeah.
It's hard to say no to prime rib.
Yeah.
What about a pot roast?
Sit them.
I'm gonna sit them. It doesn't fit.
Yeah, I agree. Sit them. Deep fried turkey. I have a couple of different types of turkey in this, so
Oh,
we'll get them as
Sit
we
'em.
go. You're sitting deep fried turkey. Wow, that is
Yep.
that is a bold statement
this
there.
this is America. Anything deep fried tastes better. I'm starting it.
I'm sorry. Aren't there videos of people deep frying turkey and it just blows up in their face?
Well, that's because they did it in their garage and they had the grease halfway up the bowl. That's their own personal problem.
Yeah,
Okay.
and there's also different ways
you.
you can deep fry turkey because you can cut it into little chunks and deep fry it like it's like chicken nuggets.
I'm
which
not
is
trying
also
to
a
die.
great-
I'm still gonna say sit them.
Ethan
My
just
luck,
doesn't want
I'd
to blow his
the
house up.
up.
He just doesn't want to blow his
Okay.
house up.
Yeah,
What about steaks?
sit them.
I'll have a steak any day of the week. Start them.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Pulled pork.
Sit them.
Sit them. It's that for me. Pulled pork's a summer thing.
Okay.
Low key Chili's,
Alright.
fantastic pulled pork sandwich, by the way.
Ooh, good to know.
Good to know.
But yeah,
Yeah.
pulled pork when it's not summer. Sit them.
All right. What about a chicken? A whole chicken?
Oh, dude,
Sit 'em.
I'll smash a chicken
Whoa,
any day of
hold
the
up.
week.
Is it a rotisserie?
Oh,
Yeah, well, whole chicken. It could be a smoked. It could be beer can. It could be. I didn't really specify. So
start it.
I'll
Start it.
Rotisserie chickens, yeah, that's what gets the thing down low going.
All right. What about a brisket?
Yep.
Yeah,
Start 'em.
start it. Start it.
Start it.
Oh,
Okay.
this lineup, what my God, we're all gonna. This is like fucking Fogo de Chao. Like,
Yeah. Darn right it is.
Fogo tastes better
Meatballs.
when you don't have to pay for it.
true. Fuck you.
Yeah.
What about meatballs?
No.
Sit 'em.
No.
Nothing
Okay.
balls.
Mm.
Nope.
Love some good. We made we had moose balls a couple of years back. My cousin got a moose. Those are pretty good.
They actually had
Um,
moose, like the balls of the moose.
Yeah. Yep. Rocky Mountain moose balls.
I love that. Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Were they meaty clackers?
Oh
Were
yeah,
they as big as your face?
bigger,
Hey,
Nice.
bigger. No, deer season is open. What about venison?
no,
Pass.
no.
Pass.
Only good part
Oh.
of venison is venison bacon. That shit slaps. Everything else, not a fan.
Deer backstrap.
Never had it.
Never had it.
No, okay. It's good, especially when you wrap it in bacon. Oh, it's really good. Had that last year, and the final one is, and this was something that changed my life. I had it yet on Saturday at a friend's giving.
I
was
know what you're
invited
gonna
to.
say.
It was a smoked turkey.
Yep.
Best turkey I've ever had in my life. Stardom, and if you're not saying stardom, I'm not sure what we'll do. I would say we're all talk, but we can't quit each other. So
Absolutely start. We
Start
did
it.
it a couple
Yep.
years ago with one who won't be said's family, and yeah,
gross.
best turkey ever.
yeah, and the key is just butter it up every like half hour. You just baste it in butter. Oh, it's so good. It's not like you're like. I mean, we're from the Midwest. Bunch of white kids from the Midwest, so everything is extremely dried out. And when we have turkeys, that's the knock on turkey, is that it dries out and there's no seasoning on it. This smoked turkey, it's the way to do it. If I ever am in charge of making a turkey for Thanksgiving, that's the way I'm doing it, is I'm smoking it. I don't care that I would have to wake up at 2:00 in the morning and stay up until it's ready. It's worth it.
So
Sure.
you're saying every grandmother in the Midwest, when she makes her turkey, it looks like the one straight out of Christmas Vacation?
Not that bad, but not where it just like completely just fizzles out. But it's
Save the neck for
like,
me, guys.
I would prefer like the deep fried turkey, or like you said, Grant, the dark meat.
That's fair.
So, you guys have Thanksgiving plans? Are you guys making anything? Are you bringing anything to your Thanksgiving dinners?
I'm making a triple berry pie tomorrow at Hannah's parents.
Oh,
Yep.
I'm just gonna be
good.
I'm just gonna be a mooch and show up with my positive attitude and can-do outlook on life. Probably be the first one in line for the food, and then take a nap.
And watch, I will get fucked on Saturday.
Friday.
Oh, they do play
Friday.
Friday. That's right.
Yeah, Friday at 11 is gonna be awful.
Grant's the freeloader of this group. I'm gonna try my hand. I'm gonna make some smoked mac and cheese. I made just regular mac and cheese.
I will say this: at
I
Hannah's
did.
friend's wedding this summer, they had smoked mac and cheese with bacon.
Oh my
Unbelievable.
God. That sounds amazing.
Hopefully I can live
Absolutely
up. Hopefully I can live
unbelievable.
up to that. But
I
yeah,
guess I
that's
won't
what
know, but it was pretty good. So I hope so.
So, yeah. All right. Well, then I guess that wraps up this episode of the Three Guys Talking Ball podcast. We're coming to you a day early. We'll be back on our regular schedule. A new episode out next Thursday. We'll have the segments of the show out this Friday. Check us out on all of our social medias. We'll be posting content. Might be posting pictures of what our Thanksgiving spreads look like, and you guys can rate and choose which one looks better, who has the best looking spread on their plate for Thanksgiving. So we will talk to you next time. We hope everybody has a good Thanksgiving.